Hey everyone, what is going on? I am so glad to be here with you mid-June, y'all. Golly, every time I look at the calendar, every time I look, I'm like, it's moving along. And so today on this episode of Hot Takes, where again, we're always seeking to be humble, open, and transparent, I've brought along a doctor. Right. And again, I told y'all it's about practitioners, it's about coaches, it's about people who do this work purposefully, not just as a pontificator, but people who lean into their work. So I have Dr. Kelly Henry. How are you, sir?
I am fantastic, Lawrence. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on your great show, man. I'm doing
Uh,
great.
Thank you so much. And before we get rolling, let people know where you are in the world, where you are now today versus when we first talked, and then we'll get rolling.
Yeah, we just transitioned here this last week. So I currently live in Lubbock, Texas now, where Texas Tech University is, where I have two boys attending that great university. So and have family here, so we're excited to be here. But yeah, we just moved last week, so everything's a little bit of a blur right now, but we're getting settled in.
All right. Well, hopefully by the end of this show, nobody's going to be blurry at all about who it is you are and what you do and why you do. And I always like to kick off with that question because, again, the topics of the shows come from a very unique place for you and our speakers. But where and why and how did you get on this thing of exceptional customer service?
Well, I'll try to shorten the story for you. So I'm a retired chiropractor. I practiced for 20 plus years, mainly in New Mexico. When I first started out, I moved to a community in New Mexico there. That's a smaller community. Many of the businesses have been there for years. They could flip on their lights, open their doors, and you had to do business with them. And I quickly found that their customer service wasn't exactly utmost on their minds. And that bugged me. And I decided that, you know what, I'm going to be different. I am going to excel at customer service. We're going to make our patients feel like they're the most important people in my office. And I didn't do that as a way to grow my business. I just did it because I wanted my patients to feel different than they would with some of these other businesses. But lo and behold, once we started doing that, the patients really responded to it. They loved it. They commented on it. They started referring their friends and family, and it piqued my interest hey, we've got something going here. And that started me on this 20-year journey of improving and implementing and understanding customer service as a mechanism to grow and expand a business. And I really used that to the utmost of, I guess, my ability, but the utmost of the foundation for my business, which led to me growing it to multiple locations and doctors and those type of things. So it was really very beneficial. I've also been coached for many, many years. I've had business coaches, personal coaches, all kinds of coaches, speaking coaches, different aspects that I wanted to work on. I hired a coach because it's so important in my eyes. So when I retired and I sold my practices out in 2018, I knew the aspect of customer service and how incredibly beneficial that is for businesses. And I knew the aspect of how coaching had been so incredibly beneficial for me. So I meshed the two together, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing at this time in my life for business owners and those that I get the opportunity to work with.
Yeah, I love that, particularly as a not origin story, but a origin story to part two. And you didn't retire, you refired.
Exactly.
And I love that you continue to level up. And again, didn't try to do it on your own, but reaching out to a coach, reaching out to somebody, because again, I tell people once I found this modality of coaching and really what it was supposed to be and do for others and kind of bridging that gap between the known and unknown or wherever you desire to go as a huge, I said, force multiplier in my life. And it sounds like it did the same thing for you. And now you've become like, hey, I'm not just going to, just wing it and just totally take on this new journey, but using that first part of a career and now in this next chapter and marrying them. And when you thought about why you did it, what makes this important for you to share with others?
Well, two reasons. One is, like I mentioned just a moment ago, improving service and making customers, patient clients feel important is just so incredibly beneficial to a business because it creates retention. And that's really what we're trying to create is customer retention. It's not about necessarily attracting customers. It's about keeping them. And when you keep them, that exponentially grows and profits a business. That's the key. That's what I coach. That's what our focus is. The mechanism is customer service. The result is increased retention. So that's what we do. But when you improve your customer service and you're making people feel valuable, you're making customers feel valuable, you're making your culture and your business and your employees feel valuable, important, there's an aspect of that is it creates a scenario where you're making the world a better place, and that may sound cliche, but it's not. When people feel better about themselves, when you're making them feel valuable, when you're increasing their self-esteem, and that can ripple out from your business, ripple out from your customers, ripple out from your employees. Again, you're making the world a better place. And so that's the other hugely valuable aspect of improving customer service and focusing on serving people, serving them and making them feel valuable, important, special, like rock stars in their lives. People need more of that. And so that's really the underlying theme and objective of what I'm doing.
Nice. And what I like about what you stated there is particularly around the area of retention. And it's not just retention of the paying customer, but it's retention of the people you're asking to service that customer. And again, treating people well, treating them like human beings, and go figure, because you treat them well, they'll treat your patrons well. Like, go, well, boom, that's a crazy thing. But when you think about, there's some methodologies out there that, no, I'll just be lowest price. And that's our thing, right? And again, that's a mode of thought out there. But there's something that you say and you bring up particularly when you're working with clients around how vital customer perception is. Can you help the audience out with that one?
Yeah, it's the most important thing. You have to understand that I don't care what business you're in. It doesn't matter if you're a chiropractor, a coach, if you're selling shoes, vehicles, cutting hair, selling shirts. It doesn't matter. You are in the customer perception business. You are creating some perception for your customer, your client, your patient, whether it's good or bad, whether they feel like you are there for them and are there to service them and to help them and to fulfill their needs, or you could care less and you're just there to make another transaction, another sale. But you are creating your perception one way or the other. And that's what I tell everybody. You have to understand that. Get that first and foremost in your mind and understand that you are creating perception, and it's you get to decide what perception are you creating in your business.
Yeah, no, and again, it's one of those situations where everything you're talking about, I have the lumps and the scars of me not understanding the why that's important. Because again, if you want to be like, well, that company over there doesn't have to, do that, or that one doesn't have to do that, and they continue to make money. But it's all about you understanding why people buy you. Right. And if you don't understand how people, and again, their perception is their reality of you as a business, as a product, as a service. And if you don't understand how people are experiencing you, then you can't course correct. You can't get the coach or bring in the support you need to help you along your way. And so when I think about that from a branding perspective, you say exceptional customer service is the new marketing. Yeah, help me with that, because again, I am I a billboard, or what's the thing? How is this the new marketing?
Well, the key to exceptional customer service is, again, retention. That's what we talked about earlier on. So we are trying to drive retention, and when you drive retention, again, it explodes growth and profits. But a key component to retention is referrals. And we all know the best source of new customers is a referred source. And so when you are keeping more customers, and those customers love you so much that they tell their friends, their family, their acquaintances about you to go do business with you, those referrals are coming in. Well, lo and behold, you don't have to do so much external marketing because your customers, your patients, your clients are the ones doing all the marketing for you. So that hence is why great customer service, as it drives retention, as it drives referrals, becomes the new marketing for your business.
You giving out free game today, Dr. Kelly. You're giving out free game, and I would tell you as somebody who I just started off doing this podcasting as a way, for one, me to get over my anxiousness about doing something new, but as I bring in professionals who do the kind of work that you do and other coaches, it really is all about the referral. It really is all about that hot, in which again we call it the hot lead,
Yeah.
and use some sales terms. And the like the transaction is quicker, I believe, when you get into people they've already worked through how they perceive you. They've already got someone who's vouching for how they experienced you. And so now, I've been in conversations where people are like, hey, so where's the paperwork? I'm like, you're not gonna let me do my spiel? Like I have no spiel for this.
Right. Where do I sign?
Right. And when you think about just that from a stress standpoint, from a business owner's perspective, like how has that impacted you and how you've been able to maneuver in this phase of life, in season of life that you're in?
Well, going back to my chiropractic career, the last 10 years of my practice, 90% of my new patients were referred patients. And so I did virtually no marketing whatsoever. I had a yellow page ads when that was still important. And we did some commercials just because I knew the owner of the radio station, actually is what it was. But other than that, I really did no external marketing. And again, it's just a beautiful thing when you can sit back and people are coming to you because so-and-so referred them, the barrier's down, they're ready to sign, they're ready to get on board with you. And it's a tremendous weight off your shoulder. It takes the stress off the entire business when the model is when the business is gaining referrals on a constant basis, more than having to attract and market to attract new customers. The statistic is a retained customer or a current customer will buy from you 60 to 70% of the time. So it's that much easier to sell to them compared to a new customer, which will only buy from a business 5 to 25% of the time. So again, a referral sits kind of in between that, but a lot of those barriers are down. So they're going to be closer to that retained customer as opposed to the new customer. So again, it's just an incredible thing when, again, going back to the new marketing, when the business model is, hey, our focus is retaining customers and letting them be the voice of our business. Man, it just loosens things up, takes the stress off, and business and is so much easier that way.
No, Doc, you brought up some things for me, particularly as you were just describing. And again, public service announcement, all, percentages are not as equal for everyone, but let's be clear. People buy you before they buy from you. And if someone is giving you the point of contact or a coach or anything else like that, like thank you for saying that out loud, that it's something about when people, it's a transaction. They just hand you, hey, I think you should call Dr. Kelly, because he hooked me up, or his staff, they hooked me up. And again, they're an exceptional crew. And again, they do all the selling for you in a non-threatening environment. So like you said, it takes the biggest part for me is the barrier part, right? First thing, my executive assistant that I use now, it came from somebody that I had a relationship with. So by the time I talked to her, I was like, so do you have time for me? Right? Like that was a conversation. Like what are we doing here? And so when you think about just the barrier in sales, because it's anxiousness, I believe it a lot of times, like, golly, I got to go through this process of looking for people. So the first person I'm like, hey, anybody, like, oh yeah, Dr. Kelly Henry, he's a chiropractor. Well, I'm gonna call him first and then see what the process is. And then to me, it disarms the process of being a consumer. And then particularly if somebody already has a relationship, I just again, know, like, trust. If you know, like, and trust them, and I know, like, and trust you,
That's key.
yeah.
That's the key.
So when you think about just this process, right? Because it's one thing for me to know, like, and trust you as a person, but when you refer somebody or they get referred to you, there's an expectation of I'm going to receive great service. What's the problem or the dilemma you find yourself in if great service isn't provided once they get there?
Well, it pretty much wipes out the relationship, unfortunately. So, and that's the problem with so many businesses, that they don't. Let's say there is a referral, and the person that referred in, maybe they bought something different, or they caught the business on a good day, but the consistency with great customer service is so lacking in so many businesses that the person referred in catches the business on a bad day, or where they're inconsistent. And they're like, my goodness, why in the world did you refer me here? It was a terrible experience, those type of things. That's the issue. There's two big issues, big problems. I just mentioned one of them: inconsistency. Businesses, yeah, they try to, they understand customer service and how important it is, but they have no mechanism. They have no system. And so one day it's okay, the next day it's bad. One employee, it's okay, the next one it's bad. The inconsistency just kills their customer service. The second thing that a lot of businesses have that's a myth and is really a blinder over their eyes is they feel like they already provide great customer service. They feel like they don't need to improve it because they do this and this, and that's good enough. And so it's not even on their radar to improve it. When in reality, if they go back to the customer's perception, customers like, man, their service is, average at best. And that's really the statistic. Across the board, businesses in the United States provide average to terrible levels of customer service 80% of the time. 80% of businesses average to just cruddy amounts of customer service. So there's a huge opportunity to bump a business up into that upper echelon to reap the rewards when they start focusing on customer service, understanding that, maybe it's not as good as it could be. And if we can shore it up and we can make it a whole lot better, it is going to make a major difference in the business, not only in profits and growth, but the culture and taking stress off the business and just make it a better business and a better place to work. And again, make it the new marketing for the business.
If you got a client sitting in front of you, and again, they want to go from good to better, what's one thing that you start with to even get them going in the right direction?
Just understanding, again, that aspect of customer perception, that they are in the customer perception industry, regardless of what they're doing, what they're selling, what their business is. They are in the customer perception industry. That's what they're doing. And then they also have to understand that the customer perception is driven by how you make the customer feel on a daily basis. And you're trying to make them feel, if you really are focused on great customer service, you're trying to make that customers feel like a valuable person, like they are the most important person in the world when they come into your business, when they're doing business with you, like a rock star, and make sure that they feel that way each and every time. My business mission statement, chiropractic and then what I recommend with my clients is to be the best part of the patient, client, customer's day. That's your mission statement, your service mission statement for your business, or should be. And if you have that mentality, and everyone in your business has that mentality, your actions are going to line up with what you're trying to do. I'm going to be the best part of that customer's day. They are going to, we're going to be a breath of fresh air for them. We are going to make them feel valuable. When they leave here, they are going to be in a better mood, in a better place. We can't change the circumstances of their life. We can't change the fact that their kid's sick, or, they're having a problem in their job, or whatever the case may be. But when they're with us, they're going to feel valuable, and that's going to make them feel more important and feel better as they leave the interaction that we had with them. So those three things are really huge, just to get that concept and wrap your mind around it. And then we can start putting the actions and the other principles in play to really shore it up.
No, that quote right there, be the best part of your customer's day. Like that, to me, that resonates so much, because you desire, again, if you believe in what you do, that's really the sentiment that you want people to walk away. Like, you want people to experience you. And when they do, or your employees or anybody they interact with that's a part of your brand, you want them to walk away saying, man, that was the best part of my day. All right. When they sit down with their journal at night, they write in like, man, that was the best part of my day. And when you think about how you stay present in this season of life that you're currently in, what are some things you do personally to stay and make sure that you're being the best part of a customer's day?
Well, one is you have to understand that life's not all about me. and we have a tendency, and I'm going to group everybody together, that we are all selfish to some extent. I mean, that's just human nature. And woe is me, and oh, this is happening. Why did this happen? But you have to get outside of that and understand there's a whole lot of people in this world, and you have to understand that life is difficult. And you have to take that into account with people's lives. You just don't know what's going on in their life. You just can't see all the scars. You can't see the hurt. Everybody puts on a good front, and a smile, and it's, how are you doing today? I'm okay. I'm great. That type of thing. But yeah, the kid's sick, or they just lost their job, or their car just broke down, or they can't make this month's rent, or whatever the case may be. And you have to understand that. And just treat people better. Get out of yourself and not worry about, the stuff going on in my life. Yeah, that's important and I have to deal with. But if I get outside my head and get outside my experience, and I start looking at others and trying to be there for them and help them have a better day, man, that goes a long ways. And it lessens the load on me, and it lessens what's going on in my life when I can take the load off of somebody else's and make them feel important. So that's part of it. The other thing that I do regularly is you've got to count your blessings. You got to have gratitude. You got to look at the good going on in your life. And I always say that, there's always difficult things going on and challenges, yes, but that's the vast minority, particularly in my life. There's 90% of my life is great. I have a gorgeous wife and who I love dearly. I have 3 beautiful children who are great people. I have a house and a roof over my head. I have the opportunity to be on a phenomenal podcast. It's just going through those things and being grateful for what's going on in your life, what you have. I'm healthy, those type of things. And again, that has a way of flipping your attitude to take your mind off what's going on that may not be as great as you'd like it to be, and helps you get back into that service mode and trying to help others.
Well, I appreciate that, Dr. Kelly, because, again, it's bringing it back to reframing and putting things in perspective, right? And again, as a business owners, and again, we understand those are the ebbs and flows, but like you said, just coming back to, hey, what am I doing this for? What are the whys? But then, regardless of where you are, having that gratitude, to kind of move you through to that next step. And so one of the things I don't want to do, I don't want to hoard you as a contact in my life. And I'm so grateful for you coming on today just to share a little tip of the iceberg about being exceptional in customer service. But I want others to be able to contact you, be able to reach out to you for you to partner with and move them towards success. So how do people connect with you? How do they find you?
Easiest way is through my website, which is drkellyhenry.com. So drkellyhenry.com. And basically you can, like you said, find out all about me, about my information. You can find my book, Define and Deliver Exceptional Customer Service, and a link to buy it. You find out about my programs. I'd love for you to set up a call where we can talk more about your business and your struggles, and if what I do and what I coach would be a good fit for you to move forward with and change the dynamic of your business. But you can also do that. Also on my website if you scroll down, you can find a free PDF that is my 5 top actions, if you will, to help customer retention. 5 top, very simple, very easy actions that you can implement almost immediately in any business that'll help really raise the perception to keep customers coming back, keep them loyal to your business, keep them going with you, and so they can refer your friends, so that will help stimulate that new marketing that we talked about. So again, drkellyhenry.com, great place to find me, and I'd love to connect and talk to the listeners about how we can move forward and change their business and really change the lives of those that they interact with.
Well, again, y'all heard it here first. Connect with Dr. Kelly across social media. Go to that website. I'm always game for a freebie, particularly if it's numeric and you get to follow some things. So thank you so much for gifting us your time today. And those of you out there who are looking for a coach, looking for someone a business coach or someone just to connect you where you are in the season of life, if it resonated with you, don't hesitate to reach out to Dr. Kelly Henry, because I'm sure as he's digging himself out from those boxes, it makes some time to make sure that he connects with you and moves you towards exceptional, not just like he said, average to terrible, as it pertains to customer service. So always continue to be humble, open, and transparent, and above all, take action. Actions over ideas always win. So have a great one, y'all. Be safe, and we'll see you soon.